Well, hey everybody, this is Chris DeFurio with Keys to the Shop. Welcome to another edition of Shift Break. Today's episode is brought to you by La Marzocco, who's been making espresso machines by hand in Florence since 1927. La Marzocco is the pinnacle of reliability, quality, and innovation. They truly listen to their customers, and this is why you'll find La Marzocco's at the heart of some of the world's best coffee bars. A great example of this kind of innovation is the KB90 espresso machine with the straight-in locking portafilters for ergonomics, scales in the drip tray for accuracy of your extractions. And then you've got the auto flush, which improves cleanliness and flow. There's lots to love about that machine, but there's all sorts of machines that they have to fit your needs. You just need to go to lamarzocco.com and check them out. Better yet, you can reach out and talk to some of their salespeople about getting the right machine to fit your business. To do that, just email info@lamarzocousa.com and they will be happy to help you. Also, once more, don't forget to visit their website, lamarzocousa.com. Today's episode is also brought to you by Espresso, who's creating custom branded mobile apps for your customers to have a quality mobile ordering experience that brings your brand and your culture, the feel of your business into the palm of their hands. You're not just another dot on a map with Espresso. With Espresso, it's a no-risk model. There's no setup or development fees. You get a drive-through payment scanner, receipt and label printing capabilities. All the data is stored in the app itself, and it integrates with some of the world's best payment processing systems, including Square. So I would really encourage you to reach out to them, to have them get started on your app today. To get that started, go ahead and visit them over at espresso.co. That's espresso.co. Okay, everybody. Well, today we have a Thanksgiving episode. It is live, not live, but it is happening on Thanksgiving. There's a lot to be thankful for in the world of coffee. And this is a day where personally, I like to be with family and, it makes me just take stock of the positive things that there are in my life. And oftentimes it's easy to just be inundated with all of the negative things that happen in the world. It's easy to look at your business and only see the problems and only see the challenges and accept the blessings, accept the things going well, accept those things as that's the way it should be and that's fine. Okay, no big deal. Who cares? I'm going to go and I'm going to make a big deal about the things that are not right because I feel like if I don't, they're just going to keep not going right. Okay, so we always have this bent like we need to give a ton of energy to the problems. And that's true in some sense in that we want to be solution bringers. We want to be a part of the solution. But oftentimes when you look at a problem and you want to solve it, you also have to realize that there is some positive element, and it might be that it's an opportunity to bring a solution and that the solution itself is positive. So even in the midst of challenges, we can find a way to be positive and look at things full spectrum. When you brew coffee, one of the things that you should do is you should decant the pitcher, right? You mix it up because we know that coffee stratifies and it has layers of, heavier coffee on the bottom and lighter coffee on top. And if you don't mix it up and you've got an urn of coffee, people are going to get different concentrations of coffee. And so we mix it up. And so how do you know that you're actually getting the full picture, the full spectrum of what's happening in life and your business if you're only focusing on one aspect of it and it happens to be the negative one? Things might seem a lot worse than they actually are if you don't take time to decant, to mix things up, to say, well, let's see how this all goes down once I get the full picture of, but what's going right with my business? What's going right with my employees, with my customers? What am I really proud of? So on Founder Friday episodes, we always ask questions about what people are proud of and what brings them joy, on top of questions about what some of the challenges were. And I ask those questions as a way to sort of encourage you and me to always ask ourselves the same question. What are you the most proud of that maybe you've accomplished, or your team? What are some things that you can be truly grateful for, that are positive. And personally, it's easy for me, I'm a kind of cynical guy. Anybody who knows me, I'm a little bit more rounded. My edges are rounded as I've gotten older, but I can tend to be kind of cynical and salty. That's just the upstate New Yorker in me, I suppose. But I, and maybe you, might be tempted to say, well, here's something positive. At least I'm, not dead or something like that. It's not necessarily the one I'm talking about. What I think would be helpful for all of us is to take a step back and focus on the things that we know are positive and we can be thankful for, so that we can give them also our energy and attention so that they keep going. So we can reward people that are doing good work. We can reward ourselves for doing good work. We can feel good about the things that we've accomplished instead of just glossing over them in some bid for false humility. Humility is really just telling the truth about yourself, which can be harder than you actually think it is. You don't want to be too degrading. You don't want to be too bloviating, right? But the trick is, what's true? And if you're not telling yourself the whole truth, like we've had a shift break where we touched on this, then you're missing out. We all have really hard times in our lives. And in the midst of those times, it can seem like, there's no hope at all. And I, speaking from deeply personal experiences of both past and present, it is not true that there is no hope at all. There's always something that is transcending our immediate feelings and the immediate challenges that we're going through. And I want to encourage you to reach out to that, make time for it, and to reach out to each other, to encourage each other, to speak positive things to each other that are meaningful and specific, and do it with a kind of energy and urgency that we can tend to give to the problems and the challenges to set things right, celebrating the things that are right and that we are blessed with, and the people that we have and that we can be thankful for, I think makes all the difference. It gives us some motivation and some why behind the what of what we do. And so that's my message to you today. It's not easy, I'll tell you. Again, life can be rough, but I've always been encouraged by the coffee industry, by the community, the camaraderie, and the fact that we all can help each other up. We can find ways to affirm, to call out positive things, to encourage, and to really serve each other while we're serving coffee. And it starts by cultivating that sense of thankfulness and seeking out the positive in the midst of the struggles, in the midst of the challenges. It's all together part of this coffee life. So again, I hope that you found that encouraging, and I hope that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thank you again for joining me, and I'll see you here next week for another edition of Shift Break, from keys to the shop.